Hello and welcome. Oh my gosh, how y'all doing? I was getting myself together. Pluto honestly beat me the fuck out. All right. So, welcome. My name is Miladies. I am your spirit shifter here, guiding you on your journey towards self awareness. And we are here to talk about Pluto in Aquarius. Not only Pluto in Aquarius, but we're going to talk a lot of, well, I have my notes here. You already know. I always say that, right? I have my notes here. But we're also going to discuss a little bit of where Pluto was because it was in Capricorn. We all experienced it, so we can actually all talk about it. Where if when I talk about when Pluto was in Aquarius in the 1700s, nobody's really alive to tell us about that, right? So let me tell you what we're going to talk about in this video. And throughout time, we will continue to talk about Pluto and Aquarius. The main important thing is that it's a generational energy. So individually, we will be feeling it because it's in our chart. However, it's something that's going to be long term and it's going to affect humanity as a whole. So your contribution to this energy means a lot. All right. And so, first and foremost, I want to give thanks, right, to everyone who viewed the last video. The last video received a lot of love, and I'm so grateful for you all. For anyone who shared, anyone who liked, anyone who subscribed. I'm just really, really grateful to be here and honestly just talking to you guys. It really fills my heart. Thank you everyone who joins live. It really makes a difference. I have somebody. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, right? Some of the YouTubers know that it's like you're talking to yourself. I am my own co-worker. Okay, focus. All right, so and shout out to the clients that I've been having, especially those who have been getting their natal chart reading. You guys can go back and see where Pluto is at, and it's going to be quite easier for you to know how this energy is going to be affecting you. Shout out to everyone who's getting out of their own way, starting a new business, trying out a new hobby, seeing how it goes, cleaning, cleansing, um, just really gathering up the information that we receive on this channel and implementing it in your life. It means a lot to you, and then it means a lot to me. Because if I'm just sharing and you tu me estás mirando and you only looking at me like what we doing here? I mean, we both cute. Come on now, let's get to work. Okay. I also want to let you guys know that I have a tons of goodies down below. One of the things that's coming up is I'm doing a webinar for career and the 12 zodiac signs. How because right now we all honestly a lot of us don't want to be in the careers that we're in right now. There's a lot of us who are desiring to do different things, and this is what this evolutionary energy is about. It's about us stepping into our soul mission, getting close to our soul tribes, leaving some of our family members behind, discovering what it's like to not suffer, right? What it's like to have like-minded people around us. And that's what Aquarius is really bringing in for us when it comes to this energy. So it will be a long energy. It's 20 years. It's like we're married to Pluto in Aquarius for 20 years. All right. So start loving this energy because it's gonna get a little bumpy. And so I wanted to share that. I also wanted to let you guys know that we have the challenge videos. If you're looking to get your brain started, if you're looking to revamp your self-care, daily habits, we have a 7-day, 14-day, 21-day, and 30-day challenges that it all different categories that you can tap into. You don't have to do it, you know, consecutively, which would be recommended, right? But maybe right now you're going through something that has to do with love, so you can look at any of the challenges that is specifically geared to that area, and it can assist you. All right, so don't forget that. Don't forget to join. Oh, look at me just going so fast. The webinar is January 29th, and it's going to be about Spirit Brought Me Back, about careers. All right. So, again, each zodiac sign has the specific energy. Like a fire sign really doesn't like mundane jobs that sit down, that have them sitting down. Why? Because they have to be doing something. They have to be moving quickly. So if you're a fire sign and you're at a job that basically keeps you what will be considered stuck or doing the same thing every day, may not be for you, right? So we can dibble and dabble on three things: your sun, your moon, and your rising. Those three areas of your life can guide you into knowing what different careers you can tap into, what is possible. At times we may be feeling like I can only do this for the rest of my life. At least that's what we were reformed to think, when now you can see that multiple streams of income is actually a great thing. Multitasking in a smart way, right, is a great thing. You don't have to hide any of your desires anymore. We're at a new age. So that's the webinar is going to gear towards that. And it's really going to get you going and how to use your Saturn. Where's the responsibility at? Where's your power money house, right? Pluto describes a little bit about where your money house is at, but we're not going to talk about that here. But also Saturn does that too. All right, so we'll talk about that in the webinar. And then don't forget to look at any of the previous videos. We have the January video that's still going because we're still in January. Oh, today's my friend's birthday. I better call him. We have, you can't be forgetting people's birthday like that, especially when you when they're in Aquarius. Oh, hell no. We also have the Mercury retrograde video, and we recently just did what video? Last week's video. So we got a lot going on. And I'm also going to be pulling cards out for the next 6 months, so that we can know how to use this energy. And we'll do that. We'll do every 6 months. We'll see what Pluto is doing for us and what Pluto is doing for us. And I'm going to be sharing in this video how to look up Pluto in your chart. So yeah, this video is going to be crammed and jammed. So come back to this video so that you can know how to find Pluto in your chart, what other areas are connected to Pluto in your chart, and we'll discuss that here, all right? We'll also go into the history of how Pluto has affected the generations. Because again, as I shared before, when it comes to your personal planets, the sun, Mars, Mercury, Venus, the moon, those type of things, we can track and keep tabs on because it's changing constantly. Pluto is 20 years. Man, listen, after this video, you're probably going to forget that this energy is even happening, right? Why? Because Pluto is not finished in Capricorn. While everybody's raving, Pluto is leaving Capricorn. It's going to go back in Capricorn, and we'll talk about that. It's going back in Capricorn in November, during the time where it's elections in the United States. So when you hear this energy of Pluto, it really has to do with society, the government, and all that juicy stuff, which then affects us, right? All right. And then in a future video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing how to look at how Pluto is transiting in each house, so that you can get a gist of how that's also going to be affecting you. So yes, astrology, it goes that deep. It goes into the aspect of where is everything located? How are you connecting the dots? And this is what keeps you busy and out of people's business. Focus on self. All right. Let me see. All right, so I guess we can get started. Let's get this party started. My ladies. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is, how do we look for Pluto in our natal chart? First and foremost, you go to any of those free apps on your phone. You go to astro.com, astroseek.com, astro/seek.com. And I mean, I would advise for you to already have your natal chart printed on your phone somewhere, right? Write it out a couple of times. You're so complex that there's no way that you can write down your natal chart one time and think that you know it, because hell, I don't even know my whole natal chart. Why? Because there's so much that goes to our natal chart, from asteroids to transits to aspects. So knowing your foundation is key to everything. So these are the things that we're going to be looking for in our natal chart to see how Pluto in Aquarius is going to affect us. The first thing that we're going to do is, in our natal chart, we're going to be looking, where is Pluto at? Right? If you don't know what Pluto, you know what I need to guess. Y'all know I'm already thinking about stuff, right? Come on, Spirit, what Pluto looks like in your chart. First of all, Pluto, now that I think about it, Pluto sounds, help. So, let me see. Let me make sure I drew it right. So we can see where Pluto is at. I just want to show y'all how to look for it. I'm doing the hieroglyph. Yeah, I did it right. All right. So when you look at your natal chart, that's what Pluto looks like. All right. Right? It looks like how, right? Because it's a lot of transformation. Anyways, so that's what Pluto looks like in your chart. When you look at for that hieroglyph in your chart, you're gonna see what house is it located in. The house is the one that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Where is Pluto at? You're gonna look at that area of your life in your natal chart, and you're gonna make a little check. That's one area of your life that Pluto is affecting. Then we go into, who does Pluto rule? Scorpio. So anyone who's a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising, is going to be highly affected by this. So Aries, sun, moon, and rising may not get affected as heavily as someone who is a Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Okay? So you guys are going to be affected heavily during these next 20 years. So you're going to look at, where is Scorpio in your chart. Not everybody has Scorpio in their chart. So you look in your chart, that's the next one. Where is Scorpio in your chart? And when you look, where is Scorpio in your natal chart, make a check. Then we're going to go into your 8th house. If you have any aspects in your 8th house, you have any planets in your 8th house, you have any zodiac sign in your 8th house, that's the area in your life that's also going to be affected. Make a check. Okay? That's the Pluto energy. Now we go into the Aquarius energy. So we're going to look at 3 areas in your chart. We're going to look at, where is Aquarius in your chart? I don't have Aquarius in my chart. Cool, no problem. What is in your 11th house? Whatever's in your 11th house, make a check. All right. Wherever Uranus or Uranus, however you want to say it, is located, make a check. That is an area that's going to be affected. Okay? So I just identified 6 different areas that you can be affected in your chart. Can y'all see how we start putting the pieces together? Now I'm going to give you an example, of course, from my life. I have Pluto in my 11th house. right? So not only do I have the 11th house energy from Aquarius, I have Pluto in there too. So I'm getting hit double time, right? Not only am I getting hit double time, but I also have Pluto in Aquarius, which meant, excuse me, Pluto in Scorpio, which many of us have Pluto in Scorpio, and we'll check by generation. So when you say, oh, you feel like a soul tribe, this is what soul tribe is talking about. Many of us who have these generational planets together. This is why it feels like we know each other from somewhere. We might have been doing something crazy together in another lifetime. Even the 1700s, we might have been doing something. You never know. That's what we back on Earth doing the work, Okay, so I have Pluto in my 11th house. I have Scorpio in my 11th house. Then I have Uranus in my 12th house. And I have Aquarius in my 2nd house. So in my life, the areas that I'm going to be looking at deeply and how Pluto is going to affect me is going to be my 2nd, my 11th, and my 12th house. That's natal wise. Now let's go to the transit real quick. When we look at the transit, it's literally how Pluto is moving today in your chart. And that's simply by looking at where is Aquarius. And again, if you don't have Aquarius highlighted in your chart, it's still there. Pluto's going to show you where it's at. And all you have to do is look for this. No, this is art class too, okay? And that's the Aquarius, all right? So anyone who's an Aquarius sun, moon, and rising, you will be affected highly as well. Okay? So, well, my ladies, what does all this mean? That means that your mama's getting affected, your baby daddy's getting affected, you getting affected, the government's getting affected, the fishes are getting affected. That means every motherfucking body's getting affected. So don't take it personal when people start moving differently, including yourself. Because everybody's shifting and changing. This is literally a subconscious psychological shift that we're all going to be going through. And in each generation and each zodiac sign that Pluto hits, it's something different. And that's when we go into Pluto in Capricorn. What did it do? All right, what did it do? First and foremost, when you think about the evolution that's about to come, simply go back. And this is so that we can all be aware and you guys can follow me. Go back to March of 2023. From March 2023 to July 2023, Pluto did a little peak in Aquarius. What happened in your life around that time? What sparked up? What shifted? What changed? I personally was able to find a soul tribe. Shout out to the Mermaid Gang. Right? And that's what showed up for me. And through the soul tribe, I've been able to speak to like-minded people, share ideas, spark people up. People spark me up. And that different type of dynamic has been happening since then. All right. So look at that timing in your life. And if you've seen things breaking down during that time in your life, that's what's going to continue to happen because Pluto itself is about transformation, death, destruction. Okay. Going back to Capricorn, since 2008 until now, the last 15 years, what have we as a collective been seeing going down? What have we been seeing crumble? A whole lot, right? Big farm, the government. We've been seeing the sex trafficking. We've all been alert on how money is changing. The digital money is changing. The banks are liars, like liars, deceivers, heartbreakers. And I've been waiting for this moment for the collectives to, we're now like super awake, right? But in the midst of being super awake, we're also being smothered with AI, right? And again, this could be good, and this could be however we want to describe it, right? Mainly moving into the fifth dimension, we're moving away from the duality, right? Earth is a duality planet, yet we, the collectives, are assisting to move to an area, a platform where things are more harmonious. We're looking to add more joy to Earth. We're looking to add more love, more peace, less war, more community. And so Pluto is in Capricorn and is dragging all the Capricorn sun and rising. Um, we are shifting crazy, and many of us had multiple careers during that time. We had multiple relationships changing, right? Um, the dark and the icky and the disgusting stuff that was not seen by us was brought up. Now, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's not going to just stay there. Now it's time for us for the next 20 years to continue to release that and begin to harmoniously get together as a community, as a society. Why? The last time that Pluto was in Aquarius was, and I know you guys have been hearing this, but we're going to keep hearing it because, baby, once it start clicking of what was happening during that time, we can shift history rather than to history repeats itself, right? Aren't we tired of hearing that? Aren't we also tired of hearing you are here for a reason? This is the reason. All right. 1777 to 1798. That's when Pluto was in Aquarius, but that's also when the United States was found in 1776, right? That also Uranus, the planet Uranus, was also found in 1781. And for those of you who are my projectors, that's when the projector energy from the human design also started showing up as well. So there was a lot of revolution. That was the time when they call it the revolutionary time because there was so much that was happening. A lot of standing up was happening. A lot of heads was chopped, like literally chopped heads and all that. Yes, free Cuba. But again, the way we, the people, are going to see the shift is when we all consciously agree. We all consciously agree that this is a pen. So it clicks, it's a pen. The minute that we say this is a sword, and enough people believe that this is a sword, it's going to be a sword. So this is honestly a conscious as it has always been, but now more than ever is a conscious revolution. And you won't see. We would love to see the people from Cuba shift their subconscious and turn over, flip that shit over. But it takes more when we're suppressed, and from when you're younger, uh, you're told one thing and then literally 20 years go by and you told something different. It's so hard to declutter that, right? We talk about the subconscious mind and how it's the tower of a computer and how much it holds. So imagine, in the midst of 2 years trying to shift the whole tower. It's that's what we got, 20 years. Okay. All right. Prior to this, the 1777 Pluto in Aquarius, I'm going to take y'all back a little bit further. We're going to go into 1532 to 1553. That was the other time, right? And there we can see that Henry the Eighth, first of all, that's when we found out that he had a secret marriage, all right? That's that Pluto energy. Yeah, Henry. Okay, that's when we seen a lot of Protestants stand up to the Catholic Church. Okay, and then that's also when we seen a lot of reformation in Europe. So I share this to express how we can expect a fast, quick change in our lives. So that does talk about us staying in tune with ourselves, following our intuition, and then going out there and seeing what's happening because of technology being in a space that it has not reached before in our lifetimes. Shit's about to get crazy. I mean, we've already seen it, we've already experienced it, but this is like the day to day. I'm talking about social credit is coming in. Should we allow it? Okay. Uh, Digital money being how can I say, monitored. Like, what are you spending your money on? None of your fucking business. Right? This is the time where we might even let go of currency and start. And I've shared this plenty of times. I've been saying this for a couple of years. We're going to go in that era where give me some rice, I'm gonna give you some rice, right? Because there's many groups that are not going to stand for what's about to come up. Now, again, it's going to be moving really fast. So, for my gardeners, this is the time to rise. For those of you who are doing a lot of community services, this is the time to rise. This is when things are, your service is going to be needed. So don't call yourself a small business anymore. You're a big farm. Ladies. All right, you're a big business. Big business. So continue to do your herbs, continue to learn with your crafting. It's going to be very, very important because we're definitely, and we already know, is competing with the AI as humans to stay in our emotions and in our feelings rather than to be empty and robotic. Okay, so I want to say that in 2007 was when the iPhone first began, right? First began is the same thing, my ladies. Okay, when it first showed up. Damn. Who's out there mocking? I'm not mocking you. Who's out there telling me to correct myself? Thank you. I appreciate you. And we seen ever since then, we have not thought about a time when we wasn't on our phones, right? Since 2007. For those of us who was born prior to that, we had the ability to see the transition from 1994 to 2007. But after 2007, that shit just blew up. So what is going to occur is that we're going to be moving rather quickly in technology. So for those of you who really do not like technology and are mad and upset that these things are happening, I would advise you to partner up with one of these Gen Zs and Millenniums and Alpha children. Okay. Well, I'm a millennium too. Yeah, that's me too. Yeah. I be feeling old, y'all. I be feeling like I'm like the baby bloomers, baby boomers, baby. Partner up with someone who's coming up 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, all the way up to like 20. Those kids, they're going to assist you because technology really is going to move fast. So if you're not into the computers, I advise you to do that. You're not into AI, study some AI. YouTube has a lot of free stuff. There's a lot that's happening, and we might get lost, right? We don't pay attention. We might get lost with the technology. And rather than to live our lives, you're going to be upset that we're not hip to the game. We don't. You may want to know what hip to the game you want to be part of. All right, like I said, the currency. And you guys know that I share this, but I don't go deep into this. When it comes to our digital money, right? The crypto, the limit. There's so many different. There's so many different ways that we can invest our money. That we can look to the digital currency. So maybe there's a designated person in your group that knows about the digital currency. Stick with them. As an individual, we may not be able to grasp it all, but see where you can contribute. This is where the community comes in, right? Let me join this cryptocurrency community to see what's going on. Let me join. Maybe you don't know what the hell is going on, but you know what? You're a nice person, and somebody might just sit there and help you along. It's all about what community is going to assist me to get to share my gifts, to be part of this planet, to be part of what is shifting. Now, you don't have to be out in the open, right? A lot of us is like, oh, fuck the collectives. That's cool. That could be your mission. Your mission could be like, I'm not helping this time around. Y'all did me dirty in the last time. That could be your mission. Who knows? But for the most part, for those of you who are interested in contributing to society as it moves along, it group settings are That's what Aquarius is bringing in. We haven't quite been in a group setting in a while. And if we have been, we haven't been including everybody, if you know what I mean. So that doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going to see everybody kumbayaing and shit. No. What this talks about is gathering and beginning to see what steps you're going to be taking within the next 20 years to be able to be in a world that you desire to sleep and wake up and be happy for. Sleep, wake up, have your tea, sleep. You can desire to do all those things. A lot of communities that has started for for a while is the cooperative communities, whereas a group of people, we get together, we live in a specific space, and we're feeding each other, we're eating with each other, we're sharing rooms and different things like that. That those things are out there already. So if you're feeling lonely and you want community, check out those cooperative communities. All right. So we talked about the history. We talked about where you could go and see how you could put Pluto in your chart. All right. Now is the nitty gritty before we get into transit. How y'all feeling? The big brother is always watching. Listen, they are. And I'm not going to front as one of the reasons why, I don't know a lot. All right. One of the cool things that I found out, this was a fact that I found out, is that there's 7 Pluto generational energy on this planet. So Pluto has moved since I want to say, I'm going to share it from Aries all the way up to now, right? And since Aries until Capricorn, there's been 7 different types of generational energy going on. And it's crazy because a lot of times, again, we are next to someone and we don't recognize what they're going through generationally, but we know what they're going through personally. Many of our parents have been through war. Many of us have been through war, right? Many of us who was born in the 80s, we have the war of the drug war, right? We have, depending on where you was born at, we have where your parents may not have been home. We had the party parents, right? So those are different types of wars. When you look at war, you want to look at it from a perspective of the traumas that we've been fighting against, right? Fighting against to heal in a sense as well. So again, be kind. Be kind. I mean, just imagine my father's 80. What am I? I'm 38. He's 88 years old. I can't even imagine what he's going to be going through when it comes to, I mean, I have some things here, but he's Cuban. He came in the 80s. He lived his life. He lived a double life, like partial in Cuba, partial here, right? You really think he cares about this Pluto and Aquarius? No, he's going to go right into his, the little clubhouse that he goes to. I said little clubhouse because I don't be liking him to go there. When you hear the word little in something, that's your little business. There's a little hate in the tone. He goes to his clubhouse and he goes and he drinks, right? This is the reality is that he drinks and then, gets pissy drunk and then goes on his merry way to the buzz and then he goes home. That's what my father does sometimes on a daily basis. You think I'm gonna be like, oh, tú no puedes hacer eso? Pluto's in Aquarius. What you gonna do? I can't do that for him. So I share that to say, be kind, right? And then to your child, Pluto's going into Aquarius. You better come on now. Especially those of you who children were born between 1995 to 2024. Those children, they're going through a hell of a lot. All right, especially these pandemic children that just had the Pluto in Capricorn. So when I say building community is important, it's not only for you. Look at yourself as a multi-dimensional being, right? When you accept yourself as a multi-dimensional being, that means that whatever you're doing, you're expanding it through different wavelengths, right? Your energy is being pushed out, not just to this generation, but to other generations, just like our ancestors did for us. The reasons why we're able to connect like this is because our ancestors did something. Somebody did a discovery. Somebody did an invention, which we'll talk about that with Aquarius. There was something that happened that got us here. So what can we do? And no, maybe if you was born in the 50s and the 60s, you're not meant to sit out there and start a whole new technology company. Hold your horses. However, you may be able to bring us back to being human, bring us back to what it is to be in society and to be in groups of people because you were able to experience that. Bringing that knowledge that you have to this era without having to get into the whole technology stuff. Because I hear y'all 50s and 60-year-olds. I hear y'all. All right, so Pluto takes 200, you guys hear it all the time. It takes 248 years to go around the sun. So, with that being said, it takes 12 to 32 years for it to be in one zodiac sign. And when it goes in, nothing ever stays the same. Like, we cannot close our eyes now to know that there's sex trafficking happening in the world heavily. We can't close our eyes and know that the presidency is somewhat of a comedy show, right? We can't close our eyes and say that, they've been pumping us with a lot of medications and fucking with our foods. What do we do now? So when Pluto comes in, the energy of Pluto is, like I expressed, destruction, death, and rebirth. So when it comes to the energy of Aquarius, Aquarius is about our technology, group gathering, right? You've been hearing me say that throughout this time. However, Aquarius is a genius zodiac sign. It has the planet Uranus ruling it. So this is also where innovative ideas come in. So yes, you will be getting sparked with unique ideas that you are meant to bring out. Oh, well, I don't see nobody else doing it. Duh. Waiting for you. Hello. Oh, but I'm scared to do it. I mean, so was Einstein. So was Picasso. So was all these people. Oh, but I'm depressed. So were they. Oh, I got anxiety. Sit under the sun. There's going to be, and a lot of us are going to be getting dreams and hints about what's going to be happening, and we're going to keep it to ourselves. That's okay. What are we going to do? For the most part, at least you know that your powers are being heightened, because that's what's going to be coming in. Pluto is connected to our psyche, right? It's connected to our emotions. It's connected to sexuality. It's connected to other people. How are we getting that in combination with us? How are we sharing our ideas with other people? How are we revolutionizing things? How are we ending things? Right? When it comes to technology, do we let it go that far? Or how do we have control over that? The power of the mind. And it doesn't have to be 1,200,000 people. You don't have to go in and guide 1,200,000 people. That would be nice though, because nonetheless, it's about small groups, small gathering groups, sharing information. And Aquarius is going to bring us the ability to know what it's like to once again connect. Right? Connect. Give me a hug. And that will be the energy of the kumbaya, right? When you be connecting with like-minded people. So this does mean that many of us might be moving within the next 5 to 15 years to a different country, to a different state, to a different. The way the United States is rocking right now, many of us want to exit. So, with that being said, those thoughts of you not staying still, it's okay because it does mean that your soul is calling you to go somewhere, to go experience something. Maybe it's not to move from where you're at, but it's meant for you to go and explore different communities in other states and countries. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a list of when Pluto was in the zodiac signs. You can get a gist of everything, and then from there I'll tell you guys. Whew, how y'all feeling? Yes, the pandemic, they went through a lot. The Gulf War was in the 90s and the Iraq War was in the 2000s. Yes. Listen. All right, so grab your pen. So Pluto was in Aries 1822 to 1852. Pluto was in Taurus 1852 to 1883. Now, why it starts and ends is because of the retrogrades of that back and forth stuff. That's why I shared that Pluto is not fully going to be in Aquarius until the ending of 2024 because it's still going to go back to Capricorn. And it will make a lot of sense. Pluto in Cancer 1882 to 1883 to 1914. Pluto in Leo. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, man. Gemini. Pluto in Gemini, 1883 to 1914. Pluto in Cancer, 1914 to 1938. Pluto in Leo, 1939 to 1958. So you guys can see how some of y'all are coming in now. Y'all came into the world. Come on. Then from 1958 to 1976, that's some of my mother was born in 1957, so that's some of our parents and grandparents, depending on who you are. Their Pluto was in Virgo. Then you have the Libra Plutos, 1972 to 1984. That's some of us who are here now. That's my older sister as well. She was born in 1982. So even in family dynamics, you can see how we all have different Plutos and how it affected us in different generations. All right. Then you have us, 1984 to 1995, which is the Scorpio in Pluto. Y'all, let me just tell y'all, I don't know what the fuck we signed up for, but all I know is that we signed up for some shit. Because let alone having Pluto and Scorpio, we was just like, oh, we want to do rebirth and death double time. Like, what the fuck? I was just like, girl, you know, Pluto and Libra kind of sounds a little bit better. But all right, anyway. Then we have from 1995 to the 2008, that's some of y'all kids, we have the Pluto in Sagittarius. Then from 2008 to 2024, we have Pluto in Capricorn. Okay. That alone gave me anxiety. Like, the fuck? All right. So, what are we going to be doing? Facing our shadows. We're going to do deep, deep work when it comes to specific areas of our lives. So, yes, there's going to be some stuff that we don't want to let go of, and Pluto's going to pull the motherfucking rug, and we're going to have to face it. So, how do you approach a transition that you know is coming, that is going to be somewhat of a detriment because it's killing something in your life, yet you have to prepare to be to reborn? Surrender and calmly asking your spirit guides to show you with peace what is breaking down, right? We have the conscious words and authority to express to experience this. It's going to happen, but can it come peacefully? Can it come with increments of lessons? Can I have some fun while shit is crumbling down? You know, can I live my vida loca while this is going on? That's how we live, living my vida loca while shit is breaking down. Why? Because that is showing us how to bring a balance into what we can how we can describe destruction. Right? Most times destruction is just looked at something that's never going to be rebuilt again. Like they just destroy that building and that's it. No, things are going to get built again, but it all happens on what steps are we taking. Again, you go back. The steps are what's in your natal chart. For me, the steps are looking into my second house. Oh, that's going to be my personal stuff. You know, who knows? I may have to get rid of some clothes. I may get so, but it gets deeper than that, right? So it's deep personal stuff that's going to be happening. Then in my 11th house, those are the steps. In the 12th house, the subconscious mind, the collectives, serving others, being selfless. That's where the key is at. So because that's where the key is at, I'm like, okay, so those are the areas that I'm going to be paying attention to. So when the transmutation happens, I don't have attachment to what's breaking down. Right? It's all about attachment. So we're going to be facing our shadows. And some of us with Pluto, it's many lifetimes of shadows. So for those of us who, and during the Atlantis time, were shunned for our crystal technologies. You might be someone who might be afraid during this Aquarius time to show up and show out, or to say that you know some type of out of this world idea or phases. You might be scared. That's the fear that you might be going through, purging that Atlantis energy, right? If you don't know about the Atlantis, I really never spoke about that, but I could speak about it. Just let me know. All right, it gets deep. I love it, but Palladians, nah. All right, so when things break down, it's for it to be revealed. All right. So, prime example, something. A lot of things happened to me last week. That's why I was quiet too. Oh, why you me telling me I got that white stuff? I need something for these lips. All right, let's see. Hold on. Many things happened last week, but the main important thing, it was for things to break down so then I could see, all right, what's moving forward with me, what's not moving forward. As a Capricorn rising, I've been that I was going through shit, right? How was it going to show up? I don't know. But apparently, a lot of it had to do with a lot of deaths in my family. And the last 15 years, there has been a lot of deaths, literal deaths, like, right? Even until last year. So that was what I was going through a lot in the last 15 years. Nonetheless, knowing that, I was using that energy to propel with that Capricorn energy when it comes to my success in business, my success in my careers, right? As a fitness instructor, as a health instructor, and all those different things, I was able to utilize that energy again because I knew it, right? One of the reasons why I got in trouble was because I was keeping that energy to myself. So here I am now. But I understood this energy 15 years ago and I was using it. So with that being said, go into your natal chart and see what area is shifting for you so that you can use it to your advantage. Sorry, I got stuck there. So expect dark energies to show up, right? Expect your dark energy to show up. Although we would all love to be positive, it's quite imperative to think that way when we live in an area where we have to face people who have not been healing. We have to face our own areas where we have not been healing, and reminding ourselves that everyone is a reflection. So when people do show up, which is something that I practice in my life a lot, when people show up with a situation or some type of energy to shift you off alignment, or you come to somebody's life and shift them off them not being in alignment, it's a reminder for us to get into alignment. We might have missed our meditation practice. We might have, said some words that were unworthy, right? All those things. And then the person shows up and triggers that. And then we may want to blame what is happening, what is chaotic, what is falling down, when in all the reality is reminding us what needs to be dispelled. All right. So when we look at Cancer, we're gonna go with Cancer, right? From 1914, because to be honest with you, shout out to anybody who's still alive, from 1882 to 1914, because there are people out there. Don't start laughing, because those are my peoples, all right? I was a geriatric social worker, and I met the oldest person that I met was from 1901, but that was back when I was in my 20s. Of course, they're not here now. Rest in peace. But for the most part, if y'all out there, I love y'all. I want to hang out with the old people. All right, focus. All right, so from 1914 to 1939, those were the Pluto in Cancer. And what happened during that time, there was a deep connection when it came to our emotions. When we think about Cancer, we think about our home. That was when World War II was happening. So there was a lot of, even if you think about during that time, there was when they was giving out money as well, right before we had the recession, or the Great Depression, right before the Great Depression, pardon me, recession in 2008. Right before the Great Depression, that's when you can see people were getting money for the white picket fence. Those things were happening. It was all about the house. It was all about family. So those of you who had Pluto in Cancer, how Pluto in Aquarius is going to be affecting you this time, it's really asking you to go back to who do you trust? What do you trust? There's a lot of trust issues happening during this time with Pluto in Aquarius. And you can see, one, because of the time frame, right? Being born during that time, technology was not booming at all, right? It was, well, at least for the basic human beings that we could see, and everybody can agree that technology was lit. All right. So the main important thing for everyone is being able to get back to, and this is if you have any parents, their level of trauma when it comes to trust. It's what's coming in with Pluto and Aquarius to come and heal, to get back to community. So that does talk about taking your grandmother or your great grannies to the social groups when it comes to it's not a nursing home. It was just called the senior centers. Check out the senior centers. Or maybe you're someone who creates a senior center because there's no senior center in your area. What? Not anyone who has Cancer in Pluto, but just in general. I'm gonna be giving out business ideas too, because Spirit is gonna do that. So anybody who cares about the elderly population and is feeling like the elderly population is not being treated right, which they're not, you can be someone who can start a nonprofit organization and assist them go through this transition of Pluto and Aquarius. All right. Oh, that's my father. He don't be wanting to go nowhere. How to convince a Cuban to go to a senior center. That's going to be my plan. All right. So for the most part is guiding them into the space of knowing that they're going to be okay through this transition. This year especially is very important to watch over our elders and see what their health is like, what are they watching? Are they still watching the news? Like, are they still watching the news? Can we get them to watch something different? Can they engage in more gardening? Can we have them use their hands a lot? Can we have them share their stories? Can we assist them in regressing dementia, Alzheimer's, and dementia? That's how you say it. Don't quote me, but Alzheimer's for sure. This is what we're looking at here. Tell him you found him a girlfriend. Girl, he has 3 girlfriends. Okay, she called me the other day. I'm surrounded. Whether y'all believe it or not, I'm surrounded by the elderlies. All right. One of my besties, she's about to turn 70 this year. My other bestie, she's 61. I'm surrounded by, believe it or not, that's why I be acting old, and people be like, oh, you be dressing old. I be with the elderly population, bro. He has girlfriends. She be like, my ladies. And she's a very loud person. When she see me in the street, she screams. I'm there. I don't, it's all right. All right. Also, check out what has been happening for those who didn't, like I said, didn't check out their trauma during the wartime, during the times that they may had suffered from, hunger. What is their mindset? Because as we look at this population as with their mindset, we're able to understand our mindset, especially if it's in our bloodline. We can understand a little bit more of the habits that we have. And this is where the transformation happens. So connecting with those who have Pluto in Cancer during this Aquarius and Pluto time, it's very important. Especially if you have, children and grandkids, so that they can know stories. This talks about preserving the story of the family history, right? Technology is coming in. Nobody's writing shit down anymore. That's why I be having y'all write stuff down, because to be honest with you, how the fuck are you gonna remember? We don't even remember people's numbers no more. I mean, I do. I'm telling you, I'll be doing my best to keep my brain active. Right. Because the minute that you start writing, your brain starts deactivating itself. Not using some of those neurons, it does affect us. All right. Those of us who had from 1939 to 1958, right? Leo in Pluto, you guys have a deep fear. Okay, so the fear with you guys is leadership. Leadership, showing up to the world, right? And feeling overwhelmed with technology, as well as struggling with your internal power, because Leo is all about the heart, right? Excuse me. So with Leo being all about the heart, it's like, why is nobody being creative? Why is people just clicking away? Click, 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 click. That's all we're doing. We just clicking. We just clicking. Da, 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 da. Slide. Da, 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 da. So, all right. So Leo, everyone who has Pluto and Leo is going to be more focused on getting over the fact that technology is here and that is pretty much taken over. And they're also in a space of seeing where they belong. Where do I belong? Where does my creativity belong? Especially for those of you who have your Pluto and Leo and are very creative with your hands, being artistic. It's like, okay, AI is taking over how we draw, right? A lot of people is not drawing anymore, using paint, using their hands. AI is really taking over, and that makes a lot of artists also feel that there's no jobs for them. Don't you fucking give up, all right? There's a job for you. Don't you give up. Those of you who are artistic, start doing personal classes for people. Start bringing that creativity back to people. Don't hide no more. But anyways, So this could be a deep resistance. It's not going to be an easy transit for those of you who have your Pluto in Leo, because it's like, how the hell can I use my skills during this time where things are changing? I didn't learn this, I didn't learn that. And again, because of the time frame, you can see 1939 to 1958. There's no skills there. So this does talk about, for those of us who are much younger, to come in to the generation that didn't get this powerful technology advancement. Because is this a fucking advancement? So, and then again, how can I use my skills now? Connecting with a groups of people. Connecting now, groups of people is, or it could just be three, right? Two is a couple, three is a crowd. I said anything. Three is a crowd, so there goes the group. It could just, there could be a study group of you and two other people. It doesn't have to be like a cult type of group that you have to be part of. And now everybody's together. Again, there goes, I don't know why they came kumbaya. Eventually we get there, but we got 20 years. All right. Those that are with Pluto in Leo, you might be one of those people who push away from technology and start separating yourself from that, and could stay behind as well. So again, we all here to help. Let's do this community shit. We're not leaving nobody stays behind. All right, for those of you who were born from 1958 to 1972, where you at? Where you at? You had Pluto in Virgo. And so for y'all, things are actually it's going to be a positive transition for you guys. It's a lot is going to be unfolding. You're going to be learning how to work in new ways. You're going to also be able to dive deeper into your self-love, your health, and also come and bring it to others, right? But that also talks about finding solutions for yourself first, being able to, for example, we're going to, those of you who have Pluto in Virgo can come up with new ways to work out uh 3 times a week and still get the body that you like, rather than to work out 7 days a week or something like that. Those are just the type of energy that you can bring. For those of you who already have transitioned into the areas of eating healthier, you can show people how to do that. And this doesn't mean that now now you got to make it a career and this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Literally, sharing is caring. And there's plenty of information out there for people to grab onto, but it's not coming from you, though, in your style, the way you do it, the way you found out, the way you went through your trials and tribulations to share. And there's always somebody listening. So for those of you who have your Pluto in Aquarius, your Pluto in Virgo, and remind yourself that this is the natal Pluto, okay? So just, I don't know why I needed to say that, but yes. It's going to be representing, like, who are you through your work? Who are you through your work? How are you using your multitasking skills? That's when Aquarius comes in, when the energy of Pluto and Aquarius is going to affect you in a way of how you're going to be useful. You might get overwhelmed because, again, those of you who know about Virgo in general, Virgo loves to assist. Virgo loves to overdo it at times because they tend to leave themselves behind at times to make sure, like, because they're selfless. So it's solutions through you. How during this Pluto and Aquarius you're going to be showing yourself to us. And if it doesn't necessarily have to be physical, that's just one thing that I'm sharing. Your organization skills on Pluto and having Pluto in Virgo, you have great organization skills because you know how to break it down and rebuild it. Get it? Okay. This also talks about helping people break down the way they eat and rebuild it. Helping people Be innovative with their thoughts. Those of you who have Pluto in Virgo are going to get a lot of insights during this time. So, and then also you'll have the ability to learn how to simplify the information that you're going to be sharing with the collective so that we can get it. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Pluto in Libra, 1972 to 1984. Ladies, what? Well, we've been sitting here for a while. Okay, so this is actually going to be a good transit for you guys when Pluto completes its energy in Aquarius. You guys are here to assist and help revolutionize, right? Think of the word revolutionize relationships, what's fair, what's how to, how to bring a balance to how we the people have been treating each other. This also talks about welcoming new ideas when it comes to social group formations, partnerships, right? When you think about Libra, you think about the seventh house. This talks about building new business partners. Um, it also talks about shifting the connections. People who have Pluto and Libra went through the phase of a lot of divorces during that time. Yeah, there was a lot of divorce happening. That, like I said, it was a drug timing as well. So you have a lot of traits and talents when it comes to the way you can identify relationships in a different format, looking at what love is, what a significant other is in a different way. This also talks about our the way we connect with others, our interdependency, our dependency, our codependency. How are we looking at that? So with Pluto and Libra, you're going to be transforming some of that area for us as a collective. And then also when it comes to the Aquarius energy is that technology aspect, right? So when Pluto is in Aquarius, what's going to happen for you guys, you're going to be asked to take that into the internet, take that into a broader audience. I'll say perspective, but it's broader audience. And for you guys in general, kids, what I'm hearing intuitively is whatever you create, however you show up, the generation behind you and the generation behind you and behind you is going to be mimicking that, if that makes any sense, when it comes to relationships, especially how you're dealing with your emotions, how are we are empowering each other. So, that's kind of like a good job out there. I say we all got a little mission out there. How you gonna add this little, my lady, not little mission? How are we gonna add this big mission, because it's 20 years, into our lives? That was my ego. Little mission. All right. Whew. The one that's really, really intense, like I expressed, is the Pluto and Scorpio. So it's gonna be a little bit longer. Those of us who were born 1984 to 1995. All right. Pluto and Scorpio, we came to change the human experience when it comes to our emotions, to our physical, to the sexual, to the financial, all of that taboo stuff. So this is why we feel this intensity of sometimes, right, the fear, right? Coming back to the fear of pointing things out that's not right. We came to do that. We came to point things out. Not that's not right, but it's what we feel is inhumane, like sex trafficking. You know, Many of us may have even witnessed child molestation, child abuse with our siblings, with our family members, all those things. We came here to shift that experience and help the collectives in a way deal with it, cope with it, right? Talks about our values, our investments, our finances, relationship, and it's going to be quite, I want to say, dramatic. So even within the next 2 or 3 years, for those of us who have Pluto and Scorpio, shit is going to be different. We might be living somewhere. We might have a new body. In other words, we might go vigorous in transforming the way we are, right? Letting go of our traumas make us look different, right? So that does talk about we're going to be financially shifting the way we see things. So those of you who have Pluto and Scorpio, we can be the ones to inform other people on how to invest their money because we're going to be going through it whether we want to or not. Right? And life changes that are permanent, that are going to be giving us the ability to bring in more sources on how to move forward in this human experience. There's going to be a lot that's going to be clearing out. For the most part, we may even want to be a bit detached from time to time to shift through this energy because, again, those of us with Pluto and Scorpio, it's more than just where you've seen in Cancer. It was basic on like relationships, business, partnerships, and things like that. Leo is more about the heart. We like all of it. We hear the earthly, changing the earthly energy. So it's going to be intense energy. And we're also going to be in a space of finding out what we may have not seen before, what we felt was not an option. There's going to be a plethora of options for us. It better be a motherfucking plethora of options the way we motherfucking shift and shit. All right. So there's going to be more shifting in our lives than other people. So this is the part where we can let go of comparing, right? How this person is going through the energy while what you're going through the energy. All right. It's very important to focus on self. All right. We're going to be asked to learn things quickly, database quickly. One thing's for sure, and I can say this, having Pluto and Scorpio, being born that way, I'm on technology. I was, and this is just to give a quick on how this energy works so you can see in your life how you can pinpoint when you started tapping into technology. Around 1994, I was in the 4th grade. My mom already had bought us the Nextel, not Nextel, the Nokia. I already had a Nokia phone. I had no business. I was what, fourth grade, 9 years old. Nokia. I already started out that way. We had the gateway computer, right? The big box, the gateway computer. We had AOL, right? When the internet started, my mom's got that for us as well. When I started going to school, we started messing with the computers in elementary school. When I went to high school, I was doing desktop publishing. So I already was doing a lot of what we call now marketing tools. And then from there, it just kept getting better and better. I had a lot of office jobs that I had to do with technology, so I learned a lot of systems. So when you think about Pluto in Aquarius, think about systems. We're getting into systems. However, it's a system that we feel free to be part of, rather than to be part of a 9 to 5, rather than to be part of a religious system. So this is a system that we're creating for ourselves that we enjoy to be part of. Part of the garden system. How are we collecting water to feed each other? All right. So with Pluto and Scorpio, there's a tendency to have fear hold us back because of the intensity. Oh, I'm not going to move over there because I don't know anyone over there. Yet your soul, the cards, your astrology map says move over there. and you like, no, it's gonna go, and it's like it's gonna go well. No, I'm not gonna have my friends and family over there. Your friends and family are doing their own thing. This is all about how can you begin to shine. How can you begin to share some of that beautiful energy that you have with the collective so that we can move as a society? This is the energy of like, get out your own fucking way. Now I'm talking to myself too. All right. And with Pluto in Scorpio, the energy that you guys bring when it comes to this Pluto and Aquarius is all or nothing. It's like, either I'm going to go here or I'm not going to go at all. Or I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do it at all. Because the energy is so deep and so intense that we don't have time to be just blasting all of that everywhere. So Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius is really going to heighten us when it comes to those areas. So think about how you can financially share what you've been through. How have you gotten out of debt or any of those things? And if you haven't tapped into that, this will be the time to tap into the shifting of that area. Facing your finances, facing your ancestral lineage finances, trauma, all those things. But again, with this whole Aquarius technology, there can be some type of machinery that can assist to pinpoint where some of these traumas may be. I don't know. Could be coming up now. The way this is working, we can be able to probably they could probably scan our brain while we walking somewhere. Mission Impossible done messed up our minds, all right? Now y'all gonna go back and watch Mission Impossible. All right. So, and then the last peeps that we're gonna be talking about is, oh wait, let me see. Oh no, we got two more, sorry. Pluto in Sagittarius. Pluto in Sagittarius, which are my peoples from 1995 to 2008. Those are your children. Pluto in Sagittarius, they're also going to be like Virgo. They're going to be having a bit more fun with this energy. They're going to be utilizing the energy to expand where they're at. So for those of you who have children in this timeline, they are here to bring in a new way for us to be communicative, new ways to discover new industries. So these are the pioneers of new technology companies. They are the ones that are ready to show us a new way when it comes to the technology. So there's going to be a lot of people who have Pluto in Sagittarius that's going to be creating a new adventure when it comes to the way we approach the internet, the way we study new topics, the way we travel, the way we connect with God's source universe. For those of you who have Pluto and Sagittarius, what is going to be a little iffy is like, where do I put my energy? Where can I shine? Where can I share this beautiful, innovative idea and it's going to propel and it's going to go somewhere? That's going to be kind of like what's the fight within the next 20 years. Is like, where does this energy go? I would suggest a lot to call in, tap in, call in the opportunities and allow yourself to be more focused on what you're creating rather than to seek out who's going to find you, because you will be found, especially for those of you with Pluto and Sagittarius. The main important thing is to stay committed, Sag. Stay committed with Pluto and Sagittarius. Is really allow yourself to learn in a new way and to see things through. Can you start something and finish it? And again, with that Pluto and Aquarius energy, what it's going to do for you is going to speed things up. Just excuse me, think about that fire and think about that air. And the fire is that inspiration, and that is like taking that inspiration where it needs to go. So If your kid is like, oh, I don't want to be part of, oh, I don't want to go to this school, I don't want to go to that school, I don't know what I want to do in my life, allow them to. How old are people from that time to that time? 1995. Okay. Oh, next year y'all about to be 30. You know what? Then that's a Saturn return too. That makes a lot of sense. Ooh, y'all here to do. Okay, generation. Okay, so you guys are gonna for them they're gonna be like their 30s, like around their 30s. Yeah, so don't be mad at your kid. Don't be mad at your kid if they want to change what they want to do with their life. Assist them, support them, help them discover it. All right. It's also about networking during this time, as well as, again, creating opportunities for yourself. And then also tapping into your maturity, right? Because now that, for those of you, right, 1995, you're 30 now, mom and pop is like, probably like, what the hell are you doing with your life? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Tap into this energy. You're going to get the ideas, the opportunities, and the push to get where you need to go. And you guys are also the ones that's going to be teaching us about what this money going to look like with this digital currency. Woo! What's up, y'all? So we almost there. We almost there. All right. So what we just experienced, where we could all remember, and what people have been talking about, is Pluto and Capricorn. So anyone who was born from 2008 to 2024, this generation right here, like, we can see what the hell they going through. All right. And this generation right here, they, even though I didn't give the names to all of them because I don't got time to do all that shit, I do want to say the alpha stage because it's the recent one. What I can share about this generation is they require support. They require support, support, support. Small groups. A lot of those who were born during this generation are highly sensitive. They are the ones who may have more what we would call uh, neurodiversion. I don't want to. Neurodiversion concerns, ADHD, autism, right? Down syndrome, all those energies, in addition to those who have the anxiety, what we would call the social interaction, they may not be conducive to that. The sounds, all those children, all those people that were born during that time, they're going to really require for the society, for us as a society, to support them, to create spaces for them to feel safe. They don't feel safe. They do not feel safe after everything that they've been watching. All right. They're looking for trust. They're looking to trust themselves. How can you trust yourself if there's no space to, the adults are not making it safe for you? It's time for us to take them away from adult problems, right? I know plenty of 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds that know exactly what's happening in their mother's lives. Why? Because I have conversations with them and they tell me what be going on in their parents' life. I don't go back and tell the parents because, hello, it's none of my business. But y'all kids be talking and they talk to me. But I don't, again, judge free zone. All I'm saying is, like, it's time for our children from 15 and under for them not to worry about who's doing what and who's effing who's doing that. My moms, my pops is arguing. Like, when are they going to learn to be kids again? So that this is the energy that's coming up, helping them rebuild, They seen the pandemic, they seen the recession, they seen everything fall, they seen all the murders, they seen everything falling right now. Like for them, it's like they're probably like, why am I on earth again? So they, as well as the Pluto in Sagittarius, people with Pluto and Capricorn are here to shift what technology is all about. So while us old heads is trying to convert technology and do all these things in technologies, they're the ones that's really going to be setting the tone for what social media is going to be like. They're the ones that's going to be setting the tone on what friendship looks like. A lot of your children have experienced bullying. We have experienced bullying. I was talking to my sister the other day about, being bullied. This is the generation I'm building for. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Because, anyways, assist this generation to redefine what friendship is. What is a social group? They don't know anymore what the social group is because they've been so closed in, right? Even our own parents, if you're the parent, they're looking at it as you don't even get along with your best friend. You talking shit about your best friend. You saying this, you saying that. What is a friendship? Everybody's fighting for each other's man or woman, and what are our children looking at? That's what they're gonna be implementing into the world at Grand. So even if you are a teacher, what's going on? How are you inspiring them? They're definitely going to be overwhelmed during this time. But it's also going to be a good energy for us to know how we're going to be assisting them so that they can be mentally stable. So that's what's really going to be the big gist of it. How are they mentally stable and how are they emotionally stable to get through this transition that's happening? So there we go. Look at us. That see why I share that this energy with Pluto is quite heavy, but it's also there's more to it. So please come back to this video, share it, and really go back and dig deep into it. I myself am gonna go back to. I'll go back to my own videos because there's a lot of information that can be combined so that you can assist yourself on this self-awareness journey. So let me drink some water, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull out these cards and I'm gonna do it through the elemental because it's a generation. So rather than to do it the zodiac signs each, I'm gonna do it through the elements: fire, earth, air, and water. Yes, come back with your natal chart. If you've gotten your natal chart read by me, which by the way, book that shit. Grab your natal chart and come back. Don't tell me about drinking water out of a plastic bottle. I don't care right now. Everything is unhealthy. Literally everything is unhealthy. And guess what? Because I don't know who I telepathically heard y'all. No matter what, you're still gonna die. All right, so I'm gonna take out a soul's journey card and then an advice for the next 6 months. Okay, an advice for the next 6 months so that you can get an idea on where to drive your energy, adding it to what your natal chart says. Reminding yourself that the natal chart is a systematic thing, so it's all scientifical based on your date of birth, where you was born. And this is more tapping into that intuitive side, right? So we get to tap both into our left and our right hemisphere so that we can Feed it well. Come on now. Dear angels and archangels, thank you so much for being here, for protecting and for guiding. We have the collectives for this Pluto in Aquarius energy. Elemental juiciness for the earth, fire, air, and water. So the best way to utilize the energies that I provide for you guys is, in addition to your own personal discovery. Internally, you are already going through this. It's all about, one, the confirmation because of maybe the self-doubts, the negative Nancy, doubtful Dans, as well as our ego maybe getting in the way of, I can't do this, I can't do that, I won't do this, I won't do that. We have to go through these fears. And that's okay. The main important thing is to not get stuck, right? All right, so we have Earth, health. Earth, we have health. Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus for the next 6 months, which makes a lot of sense, right? As we all integrate this new energy, health is first. Stop playing. Fire. My ladies, you mad hype. Perseverance. Fire, you have perseverance. I gotta burst the energy. I don't know. Air. Ooh, envy. In reverse. Air, envy in reverse. Fire, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, air, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. But this will make a lot of sense. Like, this is why I love these cards. This makes a lot of sense. Y'all might be hating that Pluto is going in ya. Water, forgiveness. You know what, water signs? For the next 6 months and for the collective service. Stop playing. All right. So Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, you guys got health. So for the next 6 months, as Pluto transitions into Aquarius, look into your health. I honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. What are you doing to yourselves? What are you doing to yourselves, to yourselves? How are you redefining your self-care? Some of us are in this, we already went through the generation, so you know what generation belongs to you, right? So this could also mean shifting the way you approach your daily activities when it comes to your self-care. Maybe you used to work out 5 times a week, and now you don't want to accept that 3 times a week is what your body can take. So how do you test that out? This also talks about your soul, right? This is the soul's journeys card. So your soul is asking for some type of health. Yes, it says physical, but that also could be meaning you physically thinking and shifting the way you're going to be approaching your health. So at times that could be something that you are actually doing, or it's also decluttering. So when we our mental health is important, our spiritual health is important, our financial health is important. So all those healths come into effect, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to dig deep into it. But for the next 6 months, what does that area look like for you? And it can make a lot of sense also because of the next 6 months will be in June. Hibernation time is now. So when you hear about Pluto in Aquarius, let health be the reminder. And then the advice, the Hierophant. Look at this. Allow yourself to change. When you allow yourself to start from scratch, to start, right, started from the bottom, now we here. It talks about taking the steps to get your health in order. So your soul is like, let's get healthy. The advice is, let's start. Let's start somewhere. And let's start with happiness. Let's not start like dragging our feet and being like, oh, I gotta do this. No. The Hierophant is also about the key, right? The key to your daily success. Not what your best friend is doing, or your significant other, or your children, is what is the key to your life. You see, this person is there on their own, but not really. Why? Dun, 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 dun. Your higher self, the illumination around the head, your higher self, God's source universe is also tapping on your shoulder and saying, hey, I'm here. Your spiritual team says, hey, I'm here. Don't these look like abs? Get your ab on. All right. So earth signs, for the next 6 months, utilizing this Pluto in Aquarius, take care of your health. Take care of your health. If you like, oh, I work out all the time, I don't know what she's talking about, then baby, tap into another energy, your mental health. All right. Fire signs. Let me see what I miss. If anyone hasn't had done, oh, I highly recommend it. It's a literal blueprint. Thank you. Yes. Get your natal chart. She's saying that it's a literal blueprint of how you came into the world. Yes. And it gives you confidence. Once you get to know your energy deeper, it gives you confidence to show the fuck up. To say, you know what? I was born this way. Who gonna tell you different? Fire signs, perseverance. It says, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. For the next 6 months, especially with Pluto in Aquarius, it's all about, right? Get that purple mind, third eye, the green heart. So this talks about what is your heart and your mind agreeing to at this time. Leo, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. What is your mind and heart agreeing to? What is the balance? How can you allow yourself to envision more, right? Our fire signs, we're quick to start things, and then at times, depending who you are, right? If you're Aries, you start things, but you may not finish, right? If you're a Leo, you are maybe not starting things. So if you do start something, it takes you a long time to finish, right? And then if you are Sagittarius, you're in the space of maybe starting it, maybe not starting it, or starting something here, starting something there, starting something there. So everything's may be in different areas for you guys. But the main important thing is to know that you have the capability of bringing your mind and your heart together to get things done. And you'll receive that support. But it's all about, where is your mind at? How are you bringing things down and grounding it for the next 6 months? Especially with that Pluto in Aquarius, because again, that Pluto in Aquarius energy is going to come quick. From March to June, AI was introduced. From March to June, when Pluto went into Aquarius, AI was introduced. Look at the speed of where AI has taken us since then. So this is important to for my fire signs especially, to bring it together so that you can see what the changes are. And the advice here is the Knight of Wands. Go by your own beat. Go by your own beat. You see what it says? I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So it's not about what other people is telling you can set your mind to. This is all about what are you allowing yourself to set your mind to? What are you unleashing during this time? How are you allowing yourself to be the best version of yourselves? How are you staying within the boundaries that you said you were going to do within the next 6 months? And then igniting it. There goes, that's that fire sign. Now things again may be moving too fast for you. So really do allow yourself to know that yes, you can do whatever it is that you want, as long as you have for the next 6 months your ducks in a row. You see the right there, there's one, covering yourself. There's also talks about, for my fire signs, maybe you want to keep things to yourself, allowing yourself to explore the inner part of you during this journey for the next 6 months. And this is not for everybody, but if you can go to a drum circle, or if you can play the drums for your heart chakra to help you connect your mind and your heart, that would be cool too. And when I do see the white, the next 6 months, there's going to be a lot of clarity showing up for y'all. All right. And with the red and the orange, it's all about the root and the sacral. And then fire sign, not all fire signs, but that's the root and the sacral, your foundation. So the next 6 months for a lot of fire signs, your foundation might get shaken up just a tad. But again, there goes the grounding. As long as you have your boundaries and you're grounded, you're good. I would say for my fire signs, grab a fucking notebook. Grab a notebook. Grab a notebook, grab a notebook. Write things down. All right, air signs. Y'all have envy. And when I see envy, and it was in reverse, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. I am the same as everybody with different challenges. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. If this could be your mantra for the next 6 months, the envy energy is going to assist you to be released. This envy energy comes from reminding the air signs that they're also going to be, highly affected because of what's transitioning. My Aquariuses, I know that comes from also knowing what Pluto is going to destroy and come back. Like, not a lot of people's going to be going through the same thing that I'm going to be going through. But at the same time, truth be told, there's things that other people's going to be going through that you don't want to go through. So rather than to tuck down envy, jealousy, anger, let that shit rise the fuck up. Let it out of your system. The next 6 months is to get that out your system, right? If you look at it, this is about release. Release it out of your system. Let it out of your system, because what's going to happen is going to assist you in rebuilding how you look at things when this Pluto in Aquarius changes things for you, right? I know, again, when it comes to your mental, it's going to fuck a lot with your mental because of the deep thinking that the air signs do. So really get into the space of grounding yourself and getting confident. But again, when the envy energy shows up, attack it, write it down, speak to it with somebody, get a therapist for the next 6 months. We all have envious energy. We all have jealousy energy. We all have, right? And it's the little things that we don't talk about, right? Oh, I wish I could do that. Oh, I wish I was just like you. Oh, I wish when I grow up, that's something that I always looked at when an adult says to another adult, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. It's just like, Not knowing that those are words of jealousy and envy and all these extra. Oh, but I didn't mean it that way. Of course you didn't. That doesn't say that you consciously are saying it. A lot of us say things that we don't know why we consciously doing it. They don't really mean to say that they wish they was with you and that they envy you and stuff. But the subconscious mind has so much behind the words that when we say things, we don't recognize that we're emulating or, emphasizing jealousy and envy and things like that. So, with that being said, that was for everybody. But with that being said, specifically my fire signs, this is going to be coming up. Excuse me, my air signs, this is going to be coming up in the next 6 months. Release it, release it, release it. Let's see what the advice is. Wow, we was here for a minute. At least I could come back to it throughout the week. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, see how the cards be connecting? The advice, the Nine of Swords. Release. Release those thoughts. Look at, and then this birds is upside down. You have also this energy of this white bird coming in, assisting. As you can see, is in a way, I feel like this bird is pushing away those thoughts. Allowing yourself for the next 6 months to really get with yourself, see what your childhood traumas are that's causing this energy to show up. And why I say childhood, because I mean, this dress seems to me as if this is a little girl, although this looks like a grown-ass woman, but the dress is giving me little girl vibes. Sorry, is that I thought I seen something new. Hold on. Well, that's a bed. Okay. Well, that's a bed. All right, boom. Y'all see that? Oh. No, I have to see a spirit. Sometimes, they be. This is a bed. Y'all see that bed? So this also, if anyone in with, I'm getting relationship aspects as well. There's this envy energy coming in with relationships for my air signs. So if any of you are in a specific relationship and, are not happy or whatever the case might be when it comes to relationships, let go of that, my air signs, for the next 6 months. Recognize it and let go of it so that you can be able to start rebuilding yourself, start building your confidence, get away from all the naysayers. But definitely childhood trauma comes up with this. Yeah, look. Childhood trauma because of the moon. The moon has to do with the mother. And this looks like a wound to me. So any of you who have maybe any sibling rivals or family rivals as well, or any of those things, that's the energy that we're releasing for the next 6 months with Pluto and Aquarius. Ooh, all right. And then we have the water signs. What's up? Forgiveness. And shout out to everybody who's still with me on here live. We out here. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. This is for Cancer, but I wish it was for everybody. I mean, water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So for the next 6 months, any resentment, and this looks to me as if these are roads, right? Roads. But all the roads lead to one thing: forgiveness. All these problems from our water signs that you may have had these next 6 months, all your problems are going to surface up to be in the space of asking for forgiveness. So that way things don't get stored into your body. So, yes, this does mean a bit of disruptive energy. So in the beginning, the energy is disrupted, but then you find some boundary, you find some form, some order into how and what you're willing to forgive at this time. That does not mean that you've forgiven everything. Like throughout these 6 months, let's give ourselves some break. Let's give ourselves time, right? Since time is an illusion, then we can go ahead and shift through these energies with ease rather than I mean, some of us like going headstrong into these things, right? Going into the chaos, getting it over with, and then seeing what's next. Others of us take time. And I feel like for my water signs, take your time. Scorpio, take your time, please. Because it does talk about forgiving yourself. But first, you feel like you gotta forgive other people. I'm not forgiving that person. Fuck that person. They did it. They did it. They did it. Cool. Bring it back. Analyze the situation. Investigate what was the triggers. Get deeper into what the lessons are. See the Three of Swords. Forgiveness. Relationships. So the next 6 months, the best way to utilize that Pluto in Aquarius, right? Detachment. Aquarius is a detached sign. Not that they don't love you, but they see things from a higher perspective. Having Uranus being the ruler, you can see things from a higher point of view. So beginning to see these relationships in a way that forgiveness is going to start that new beginning, that healing is coming through, that your thoughts are creating that healing for the next 6 months is really going to assist you. And this does talk about, see, that family tree. Also, with you guys, it does have to do with some type of family issues and concerns. Oh, look, I never seen that. She has the Three of Swords as a tattoo. I mean, some of y'all might even get a tattoo. Why y'all made me look at that tattoo? Some of y'all might be even getting tattoos within the next 6 months for my water signs to represent what you've been through. Now, I will say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Give me 1 second. 8 different strings. 8 different strings. You see that? Caught up. So what I'm getting here is for my water signs, there's a lot of gunk to be released. Be easy with yourself. Release one at a time. The main one is really connected to you as well. So, these are outer energies and this is your energy. So there's a lot of energies that you haven't forgiven. And again, it's not allowing you to be free. It's not allowing you to flow. The next 6 months, you are being asked to give yourself forgiveness. And as you give yourself forgiveness, you can then forgive others. All right. And then for the collectives, we have service. I feel good when I can help others. For the next 6 months, how can we all help others? How can we all show up for others? Easy 5-minute talk with somebody, 5-minute inspiration, 10-minute opportunity for somebody else to just talk to you so you can just listen, right? Offering grandma from the 6th floor to help her with her groceries, right? Cooking for your coworker, maybe if you like them. Sharing those ideas that you would never want to share with other people. All right. Going into communities, seeing if you can be part of the community. A lot of us in the next 6 months are actually going to be going into different spaces to see what the energy is like. Do we belong there? Do we not belong there? How can I be part of this community? Do this community want me to be part of them? And then we have the Four of Pentacles for the collectives. Do we feel like we part of the community? Like I shared, look at that. Do we feel like we're part of the community? How can I share what I have with the world? Some of us might be traveling somewhere else to assist. Some of us might be not willing to. We've been hurt before in the community, so we may not want to serve. Some of us don't know how to serve, so we're stuck. All of this is going to be coming up, and is really going to ask you to step out of your own way. Some of us feel as if we need to give money in order to be part of a community. What is that about? Do you feel like you need to pay to be part of a certain community? And if you do, is it meant, right, with the four, is it meant for you to stabilize yourself in this community? And if you do have to pay, guess what? Money is air. You are worth every dime to be part of any community you feel like it. All right. All right, y'all. So that is a gist of Pluto and Aquarius, how it's going to affect the generations, how this tarot for the next 6 months is going to give us the energy to shift through these energies. I love you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing. I will be coming back with a video. Check out the community. I'll be sharing more things in the community. Yeah. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for pulling me out, for having me come and share these goodies. Let me see. Y'all can write to me. Come on, talk to me. I don't care. I don't get off yet. Hold on. This has been a plethora of information. Listen, that's a new word. Stop doing that to me. And tools that we can use. I believe that we will all be on the right path. Yes. 2024 is the 8th year. And please, whatever you learn here, whatever you absorbed here, share it with your friends and your family. It doesn't even matter if they think that you're crazy. Eventually, a celebrity is going to do it, and then they're going to believe you. Majority of the time, when a celebrity does it, it's real. You know how many times people have come to me and said, oh my God, this person. I remember when somebody started doing sound healing. I think it was like, I don't know how to say her name, something Eiko. She did sound, or like a sound healing. Everybody was like, oh my God. I'm like, sound healing been out. Anyways, I love y'all. Peace to the Middle East.